Now, this year is going to be about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and how they feel towards one another. And yeah, we're going to see what are we going to get when it comes to both ladies. Like we already know that they don't fuck with one another, but let's get more updates on the matter because why not? So let's see. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Cardi B? How does Nicki Minaj feel about Cardi B? Yeah, she doesn't fuck with her. She doesn't like her. This shit is never going to be over with. This shit is always going to be done like this. It is a repetitive cycle for her with this woman because she has violated her a lot. She has crossed more than one line. She has put her life in danger. She has done a lot of shit to her. That Nicki is always going to feel a certain type of way about her, even though she will come out victorious and on top. But she is still going to see her as this unfixable, unsolvable snake that is just around her and leeching off of her and never going to, she's never going to let her live everything that she has done to her down. She can't stand her. She doesn't stand her. She doesn't understand her. She doesn't understand why she's acting this way. She definitely does see look at the growth that she has gone through once she has gotten her kids and once she has become a mother. But at the same time, it's like I'm never gonna run around in the same circle you're at. And even if we're around one another and everything, it is going to be cordial. I am going to act as if you don't exist, but it is still treason and it is still war season, bitch. Is what I'm hearing Nicki say. It's the usual. I can't stand you. I don't like you. Lots of chaotic energy, lots of, confusion. She's always going to fucking hate her. She's always going to feel like she was just another product off of her, another project off of her that they tried to replace her with, and they miserably failed because I am still standing here, bitch. Like I am still here. You're never going to be able to take me down and take me out, even though she has affected her life in more ways than one, as we can clearly still see. And she knows that as well, but she's never going to admit that out loud anymore because Nikki's a prideful woman, and her whole confidence and demeanor is never going to let her just showcase all those insecurities, you know, fully or just put them on display where people are going to just poke fun at her for or just like stab her for. But she definitely knows that some of those, ill feelings that this other woman has over her or like for her or carries in her heart for her are coming from her other insecurities when it comes to her man. And when it comes to him, because he has always wanted Nicki and whatnot. So it's like, two birds, one stone. I'll be able to just, rip her a new one and, kind of just nitpick at her and nip at her career so I can see where I'm going to get or what I am going to have and what I'm going to deal with. But she didn't know that Nicki is also in tune and spiritually in tune at that too. So she knows what's up. But it's like, you have done all this shit and you have done a lot of this shit for me and to me and against me. Yet you still have never managed to just survive or still have never managed to fully succeed. Like, okay, you got hot from one summer, but then what? Like, what is happening? What is going on? She knows that she intimidates her a lot, and Nicki plays into that a lot too. She likes, fucking with her mind like that because, like, it's so easy to see her so rattled, so insecure. She enjoys when she sees her out of her element. She enjoys that. She gets off of that. She has a sick type of pleasure when she knows that, she's dealing with a lot of shit like that. She's like, all your friends that you think are your friends are not your friends. They're your foes, She doesn't stand her. She can't fuck with her. She's definitely still always going to be butthurt over everything that she has gone through because of her and because of everything that she has experienced. Because, that could have been so easily avoided, but you decided to listen to other men and have all of their approval. And look at where it's got you and look where it's got us all together. Like, what did you do? What did you get? Did you enjoy all that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nikki can't get over that. She can't get over that. She can't get over all the hurts and all the issues that she has gone through because of her, all the battles that she had to fight, all that shit that she had to prove her worthiness, herself, her impact, everything that she had to do, everything that she had to, and everything that she had to train, everything that she had to do. You know, she did it to prove herself. She did it out of spite. She did it because she got triggered and everything. And it is still eating at her. And it is still, going at her and just, making her feel a certain way. So, yeah, she still does not fuck with her. She still is never going to see eye to eye to her. She still sees her as her competition, as a challenge, as something that just deeply triggers her a lot. So it's like, she's going to have to deal with all that shit until she can either like fucking move on from that, or she's just going to have to address that shit once and for all because there is no in between. So now let us see Cardi's side. How does Cardi B feel about Nicki Minaj? Ugh. Well, she's definitely inspired by Nicki. That is one thing for sure. She's definitely on her mood board. She's definitely, like her antics, her semantics, her walk, her way of talking, the way I walk, the way I talk, is what I'm hearing. Everything is very much, inspired off of her. She doesn't dilute. What? Wait, what? Let's see. What? How does Cardi? What? Oh, that's interesting. That's one way to put it. How does Cardi B feel about Nicki Minaj? Because why am I? You know what? There was this one thing, one tweet once that went super fucking viral that said, if Cardi would be in a room with Nicki and if she would have the opportunity to eat her pussy out, she will. It's true. It's so true because it's kind of like getting borderline obsessive with her and obsessed with her because yeah, it's really is true. She has that type of like, let me see before I say something. Yeah, she's very much attracted to Nicki. This is so fucking weird because why would yeah, if they would have had like one chance to just like being something or like being an item or whatever, she would have taken that shit. She would have jumped at that shit. There's something so attractive about Nicki's confidence and cockiness to her. It's like I want to be that. I want to have that. And if she can't have that, it's like I would have wanted to be with her. It would have been something. It would have, like scissored, would have done this and that. We know how Cardi is confident in her sexuality and her sexual endeavors and what she does. If she could have gotten the chance to fuck Nicki out of her system, she would have. She could have. She would have done it. She would have jumped on that shit in a heartbeat. I kid you the fuck not. Because why the fuck am I getting this? Like having that type of energy, heavy passion, that type of crush. Like I hope it's not too much. I got a little crush on you, but then just having that type of like inspiration and just seeing her and kind of just like being a fan of her and seeing how much of an icon she was and everything, and then getting to see how Nicki is and how she treated her kind of really shattered all those fantasies and all those delusions that she ever had of her. So it just really took her by surprise. Like, why did you do all this? Or like, why are you like this? And why are you just like acting this way towards me? It's like she can't see no wrong in the way that she has done Nicki. And it's like once this heartbreak and this hurt stemmed over from the way that she got treated from Nicki and how she wanted to have control over this and how she didn't want to welcome her and everything, it's like, oh, it's game on. The magician, exactly. It's game on. I'm going to do everything in my willpower to take all that shine away from you now because you claimed I've done this and this and that. Now it's time for me to actually like live up to everything that you said now, bitch. Like, yep. She has done all that and more, but it's like she doesn't see the wrong in what she had done. She doesn't see the wrong in what she did. So it's like for her, I'm doing what I can. I'm defending myself. I'm doing everything that I want to do because you made me do it. I'm hearing like, look what you made me do. That Taylor Swift song. Yeah, she's always like going back and forth between hating her and between, having that type of admiration for her. So it's like, pick a side. When you keep saying, pick a side, that definitely applies to the situation because it's like, a love-and-hate relationship. This is what I said, like she triggers her and, she also triggers her because both of them are literally the same. It's like, you know how sometimes like differences puts one person onto the other. Also, you know, like the similarities do that as well, but sometimes they pit them against one another because like I see too much of myself in you, and I'm not gonna act on that. You know, I'm not gonna have another version of me, you know, like stuttering around and like, you know, stuttering around or whatever, and just being around me all the time. Like I can't have that. I can't do that. So let's see, how does Cardi B really truly feel about Nicki Minaj? She's always so fucking restless when Nicki is mentioned. She's always so restless. She's always feeling triggered because it's like I'm trying to get out of her shadow, but at the same time it's like she's trying to get out of her shadow, but her obsession with her runs so deep that she's always going to be there, and she's always going to what is I'm hearing that one Ice Spice lyric of, you know, like she doing my emotes or whatever the fuck she said. Yeah, you know, like she's always going to be living under Nicki's shadow and acting like her and everything because she has spent so much time studying her, following her, doing everything that she can to be like her and to fulfill that deep type of quench and thirst that she has had, that her husband also has for her. So it's like I can't just live off of that. I can't just, you know, be her. I am me, but I'm also not being able to just know who I really am. It's given identity crisis, I'm not gonna lie. She needs to do a lot of deep cleanses and, you know, like soul searching, but that's not on me. You know, she needs to lay low and just have something out there for herself instead of just really doing shit like this, because just keeping up with Nicki like this is only going to make her feel sicker because, like, you know, how come she never fails? How come she's never going to just deal with something? And that is something, you know, like how come she's always coming out on top? And that is something that just makes her fucking sick and sometimes makes her hate her even more. Because, like, this bitch just does not give up. This bitch does not let up. This bitch does not give up. And you know what's crazy? If she could call her mother, she would. Because she knows that she's the one who runs shit. But she's never going to admit that out loud because it's like, I'm never going to say that shit. And that shit aggravates the fuck out of her. Like, it aggravates the shit out of Cardi, which is crazy. She knows that the shit between them is never going to be over as well. This shit is never going to be over. This shit is never going to be lived down, and this shit is never going to be fucking over between them. You know, it's like sometimes she goes from having that deep type of appreciation for her and, you know, shit like that to just that deep fucking hurt and deep fucking pain whenever she's reminded that she can never be her, and whenever she's kind of like realizing that she's always going to be in her shadow, which just makes her even more angrier and even more fucking bitter, and which just makes her fucking hate her even more because, like, why the fuck do I need to be hearing all that shit? Why the fuck isn't she ever like held accountable for the shit that she has done to others? Why the fuck are people just not going to let me live that shit down? You know, it's causing her a lot of anxiety too. It's causing her a lot of fucking anxiety. Do you know if they would have actually like made that shit work, we could have sorry, if they actually could have made up and just like made a lot of this shit work behind the scenes, we could have had a lot of features of them together. They could have been like such a good duo, like such a good dynamic, energetic duo, and they would have brought like the best out of one another in lots of features. And you know, even in the fashion industry, like the fashion world, it could have been like, you know, something like the Klarman twins for however fucking reason, whatever fucking reason that I'm seeing them in my head. Yeah, they could have done a lot, but you know, they could have had this all is what I'm hearing, but you know, shit is never gonna work in one's favor if their intentions are ill and not pure-hearted. So yeah, there is that too. That is the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B reading, an updated one at least. I might do like a deeper dive into this shit just so we can get more insights on this. But this is the current energy between them, and this is how they feel towards one another. And I hope it was informative, and that we have gotten somewhere with it. And thank you so much for tuning in. Bye bye.